Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be taking a look at some Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been a while since I've actually tested this game out. They've made a few patches and I thought I'd have a look at the performance. So I'm just doing one of the discovery flights. This one's in New York, so just flying over Central Park at the moment. Anyway, let's quickly go through the in-game settings. I know you guys are interested in what settings I'm using. So for the graphics, playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, render scale is at 100, which means I'm playing at native, obviously no VSync. Now the game does have DirectX 12, but it is in beta at the moment, and from my experience, it makes the game very, very choppy. It can provide better performance in some CPU limited scenarios, but that's not going to be the case at 4K, so it's best to run it at DirectX 11 where you'll have a smoother experience. In my opinion, running TAS, the anti-aliasing method, terrain level details at 400. So I've maxed the game out as much as I can. Everything's at ultra. Object details at 200. Anisotropic filtering is at 16 times. Texture sampling 8x8. And shadow maps is 2048 by 2048 as well. Basically, the game maxed out completely. And it is a very, very demanding game. I guess you can call it a game, but it's really a simulator. But it does look absolutely gorgeous. So I'm in the Cessna Skyhawk, and I don't have enough experience to fly something like a Boeing or something like that. I did a few basic training courses, and I know the basics in terms of controls. I'm using the Xbox 360 wireless gamepad, so if you see any button prompts saying A on the LB and stuff like that, it's because I'm using that control pad. I'd rather that than use the keyboard and mouse. It just feels a bit more comfortable. But New York looks absolutely awesome. They've done a great job in the detail. I should really gain some altitude. I'm a little bit too low. New York's got such high buildings, like the Empire State Building right here. So I'm gonna go into the cockpit now. That looks amazing. So performance over a city like this, you're gonna be in the low 40s, especially when you're flying so low. Under 1,000 altitude at the moment. I should really get up a little bit higher, otherwise I'm gonna have to be avoiding buildings. But obviously, look, as you can see, the higher you go, the better, more performance you get, because your GPU doesn't have to do as much work in terms of detail for the buildings and the surroundings. At 4K, your CPU isn't going to be doing too much work, so as you can see, only using around 20% of the 5950X. But even so, there are situations where you will need a very, very fast CPU, and I've seen in some benchmarks, Alder Lake 12900K can get up to at least 8 to 9 frames per second more, depending on the situation. So if you want the best experience in Flight Simulator, you best will be going off with the 12900K from Intel, as it does do the best job. This game really does like very fast cores. This can saw there was a massive stutter there, not too sure why. Hopefully there won't be too many more of those. See what else to see. There's the... see what this landmark is. I'm not too sure what it is, so gotta get a bit closer. So it's the Governor's Island. So someone actually owns this whole island. Doesn't seem to be any bridges, so you literally have to get there by boat. There's the Empire, or the Statue of Liberty anyway. So many stutters. I don't know if it's textures that are loading in, but it does kind of ruin the immersion. I'm just gonna go back into the cockpit now. So it'll be interesting to see if the new GPUs that are coming out in 2022 will have enough performance to get at least a 60 frames per second experience at 4K. That would be pretty awesome. But this game, at these settings, you're asking a lot. So, and from what I've heard, the new GPUs might be up to 3 times faster than the current GPUs. So if that is the case, then that certainly will be achievable. There's a New York Liberty International Airport. I don't really want to land yet. Just want to fly around and see the sights. It's good that the game just puts you in situations where there's loads of landmarks and places to see. You don't have to bother taking off. You can just jump straight in, which I think is pretty convenient. But I love the level of detail that they've put for the ground. You can even see moving vehicles, which is pretty cool. So Jersey City. Jersey, huh? Okay, let's go back and fly over New York again. I'm going to gain some more altitude now just to show you guys what you mainly will experience in terms of performance, because I'm just flying really low at the moment. Try and climb a lot higher. It's gonna put the engine up so I can climb a little bit faster. The detail that they've put on the planes in this game though is on another level. If you had to rate some of the best looking games, even though this isn't really a game technically, this would be up there, just from the lighting alone and just the detail they put on the planes. I mean, that is a lot of detail. So you're never going to be able to lock 60 frames per second, but it's still enjoyable. I think this is the kind of game you could probably enjoy at 30 FPS, but obviously 60 and above is more desirable. Let's go and check out Madison Square Garden. Always a good place for the boxing when it's on. Teofimo Lopez just got beaten by George Ferocious Kambosos from Australia. That was a brilliant fight for anyone that's into boxing. That was at the Hulu Theatre at Madison Square Garden, so they're always having really, really good fights, and that was one of the fights of the year. One of the upsets of the year for sure. Madison Square Garden. Doesn't look like much from the air. Anyway, better gain some altitude. I don't want to crash into one of these buildings. Just the way they've done the clouds on this game is insane. And then we've got Central Park. This has to be the most weirdest looking park I've ever seen, because it's just surrounded by so much concrete. It looks like the most manufactured thing ever, but it's still pretty cool. It's even got a golf course by the looks of it. It's even a rainbow. That's insane. Yeah, they've outdone themselves for the clouds. Probably the most natural looking sky I've seen in any game. Okay, let's have a look at La Guardia. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. Gain some more altitude as well. America seems so flat. In England there's literally hills almost everywhere, but New York in particular just looks flat as a pancake. What the hell is going on over here? What is this? Some kind of... I don't know what this is. Looks interesting though. Some kind of farm. There's all crop circles and stuff going on. So we've got factories over here. Anyway, it's going to take us in for a landing. Line myself up properly. Start slowing down the engine. Coast in. I need to line myself up a bit better. Trying not to crash. Airspeed's a little high. Let's try if we can set her down. I'll run out of runway in a minute. Okay. Not the most graceful landing, but see if I can slow this thing down. Take it off the runway. So on the ground you're getting around 40 frames per second. It's gonna stop the plane over here. Anyway, that was just a quick look at Microsoft Flight Simulator. I haven't played it in a while, so I was curious to see what the patches have done. In terms of GPU utilization, in the air at least, it was pretty much at 99% all the time, which is an improvement from when it used to hover around 95-97%, so they've definitely improved that. DirectX 12 just makes things a lot more choppier than even the experience I just had, so I wouldn't recommend it right now. But that is pretty much it from me, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.